Hello, I'm Gino. Welcome to Dazzle TV. Good morning from Camellia Homes, Aklan, here in Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. It's 6:06 a.m. and I'm getting ready to go on my morning walk. Nice and cool still this morning. That's why I like getting started walking by 6. 6 is usually my target, 6 a.m. So it's still nice and cool here in our subdivision. Hey, good morning. Here's my neighbor. She's really nice, always like smiling, always watering her plants. Today I thought about talking about, I've never really talked about Aklan province, here our province, as far as retirement destination. I've done a video before regarding Boracay being like my favorite retirement destination here in the Philippines, but I never did one for Aklan province. And what made me think of doing this video was a new friend of ours, Brian and Gloria. They came from Houston, Texas. They were watching our channel before they moved here to Calibo, Aklan. And they moved here to Calibo, Aklan a few months now. I think 3 or 4 months. And I'm looking at all their photos on Facebook, and Brian and Gloria, they've become good friends of ours, and they're just having a good time. Their plan is to spend a year here, try to test it out, try to see if they're gonna like retiring here in Aklan province. But from what I'm seeing on all their photos on Facebook and videos, they're just having a blast. Like yesterday I saw them, they had photos where they went to the farmers market here in Calibo, and yesterday was Wednesday, and you know they have a farmers market on a Wednesday, you know, and people show up to that. Brian was telling a story on Facebook where he was gonna buy live crabs at the farmers market, and the crabs started running across the table, and the vendors and people there, they were all laughing. And that's just some of the experiences, you know, it's just fun things that you'll experience here in the Philippines, here in Aklan province especially. People are really friendly. Wow, what a beautiful sunrise this morning. In Aklan province, you know, it's like, that's why I wanted to talk about this morning. I moved here in 2011, and the only reason I landed here in Aklan province was because of Boracay. I've been to Boracay a few times, just vacation, but always wanted to moved there, you know, wanted to experience Boracay more. That's why when I retired in 2011, that's where I headed. I headed to Boracay. And I'm not from Aklan province. When I actually went to Boracay in 2011, I didn't know a single person in Aklan province. I can honestly say that. You know, it's like I landed in Boracay, and the first person I met was my landlord. I had bought a one-way ticket to the Philippines, and actually my initial plan in the Philippines, you know, I had done a recon. I call it a recon, where a year before 2011, in 2010, I went to the Philippines, and I visited a few places, you know, Baguio City, Angeles, Subic, and Boracay, and I was like a few places, and I decided to go to Boracay and try it out. My initial plan actually for Boracay was only to stay there for 6 months. I was gonna do Boracay 6 months and then do Baguio City for 6 months. But I arrived in Boracay in 2011, and I've never left Aklan province. And I've been here 12 years now. So you can kind of probably guess how much I like the province of Aklan. The first thing that I think would be good, especially if you're a single person on a budget, is it's cheap to find a place to stay here in Aklan province. Like I know in Kalibo, I had a 2-bedroom apartment in Kalibo when I was Dazzle and I, when we were going to college for 4 years. My rent in Kalibo was 7,000 pesos. At the time, it was like $130. And right now, the same 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, you can rent it for 8,000 pesos a month. So less than $150 a month for rent. And Kalibo is not a city, you know, it's like, that's one thing here in Aklan province. We don't have a single city. Aklan province is composed of 17 municipalities, basically 17 small towns. But Kalibo, I know the last few years, they've been applying to get cityhood. They've been applying, trying to become a city, but they haven't been approved. Probably, I would say maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, Kalibo will probably end up being a city. But even today, the population of Kalibo is a little over 100,000 people. The whole Aklan province only has 500,000 people. With all the distance, the square footage here in Aklan province, that's not many people. And you'll see that when you travel in Aklan province. When you go to the 17 municipalities, there's just a vast space. You know, it's like rice fields, mountains, beaches. You know, it's just still open. You know, it's not crowded anywhere at all. And that's another thing. It's like there's no traffic here in Aklan province. You'll never get stuck for hours in traffic or anything like that. Kalibo is starting to get congested, you know, because they build up a mall, you know, City Mall got built, and I know they're building a Grand Gaisano Mall, so it's getting more people to move in Kalibo, but it's still far from being a city, you know. It's like still has that province feel. Before, I never really considered Aklan province. I never really considered recommending Aklan province as far as retirement destination, because one of the things I felt that was lacking here before in Aklan province is a hospital, a good hospital. But now they just opened Asia Pacific Medical Center in Kalibo. It's fancy. I mean, that place, the new building is like 8 stories high, lots of specialties, and their Asia Pacific is medical center. They have a few branches here in the Philippines, so this is a big hospital. So now that they're here in Kalibo, so now you don't really have to go to like Iloilo City for treatment, you know, maybe for something serious. But I think the medical center here in Kalibo, the new medical center, can provide good medical service now here in Aklan province. So that's a plus. That's a plus from what we used to have here. And one thing here in Aklan province, the public transportation is really good. And the reason for that is because of Boracay Island. You know, from Kalibo to Aklan, where you would have to get a ferry to go to Boracay Island, it's about an hour and a half. So drive or by public transportation, and they have a lot of vans, buses, you name it. that will take you there. My first 3 years here in Aklan province, I didn't even have a car. I didn't even have a motorbike. All I had was a bicycle for my first 3 years living here in Aklan. And I was fine. I actually probably could have gotten by without getting any type of vehicle. Only reason I bought a car was like Dazzle and I wanted to travel more. We were traveling before by bus, and we got all the way to Iloilo. I mean, we went to Bacolod, and we went in. I mean, you can just travel here without your own transportation. Public transportation is really good. In Calibo, you can get around for 10 pesos, 20 cents on a tricycle anywhere in Calibo. You know, so anywhere you want to go in Calibo. And if you're an expat, I know there's a lot of expats don't like to be around other expats. Aklan province is perfect for that, because on the other municipalities here and even in Calibo, not many expats. Like if I go to Calibo, I might see an expat once at the mall, but not many. You know, it's like, and if you live like here, even here in our subdivision, I know maybe 3 or 4 expats that live here, but there's like 300 people living here. You know, so if you don't like being around expats, you know, plenty of places here in Aklan province to live. But if you do like hanging out with expats, you know, Boracay Island, like from here, from our subdivision, we're only an hour away from Boracay Island. And when you go to Boracay, you know, that's like loads of expats there. You know, you can hang out. I know there's groups there that they get together in the afternoon, play games on the beach. They get together at Nigi Nigi. If you go to Nigi Nigi bar in Boracay Islands, full of expats. So you'll think though, Calibo is still lacking as far as the nightlife. They do have food parks now that's becoming popular in Calibo. They have these food parks at night where people come to eat, drink beer, you know, and hang out, live music. You know, there's a few of those now in Calibo. So there are places to hang out in Calibo. But if you're used to like the big city, like Angeles City, where they just got bars and bars where you can go drinking, that's not Calibo. You know, that's not Calibo. Boracay probably is better for that. There's more of that happening now. More tourists are coming to Boracay. So if you're looking for nightlife, you know, that's probably where you would go here in Aklan for that. So if you're a single expat thinking of moving here to Aklan province, $800 a month would be a good budget, because you can easily find an apartment here for less than $150 a month. And if you had $650 a month here in our province, that's over 35,000 pesos. You could live well here. I mean, you can practically eat out every night. And as far as the food scene, Calibo really has been expanding. I mean, there's more restaurants now, really good Korean restaurants if you like Korean restaurants. Again, the food parks, you know, there's several food parks. It would help if you would start eating Filipino food. You know, if you wanted to try more Filipino food, because here in Calibo, I would say they do lack like some of the international food. You know, it's like really hard to find a good Italian place or a good pizza place. You would have to go to Boracay Island to experience better international food or better American food. But you know, it's like I said, but if you start eating Filipino food, you would save money. And there's a lot of delicious Filipino food, and it doesn't have to be like the real exotic Filipino food. It could be fried chicken, it could be pork chops, you know, it could be something that you're familiar, barbecue. It's something that you're familiar with. in the US or the country where you're from. It's easier when you start adapting to like the food scene, the local food scene. Save you money, doing that. There are now plenty of coffee shops. Coffee seems to be popular now here in our province, than when I first moved here. It's like it used to be a latte cafe in Kalibo was like the only good place to get coffee, but now there's like several places in Kalibo. And crime here in Aklan province is really low, especially compared to the cities here in the Philippines. I think because we don't really have a lot of issues with homelessness and poverty here in our province. The main industries here in our province is fishing, of course. Most of Aklan province is coastal. Farming, farming is still rice producing. Agriculture's still really popular here in Aklan province. And then, of course, tourism because of Boracay Island. Just a lot of business. A lot of people sell their goods, from fruits, from seafood, you name it. So a lot of people make money here in Aklan province because of Boracay Island. And then, like my classmates and most of the college kids, once they graduate college here in Aklan province, they head off to the cities to work. Hardly anybody stays in our province. Most of my classmates are now in Manila, Cebu, Iloilo, because that's where the IT, IT was our course, so that's where most of the IT work is. There's some that have stayed in Boracay. A few of our classmates work in Boracay Island. The lucky ones. And you've seen from our videos here in Aklan province, the beaches here in Aklan province, how they're not crowded at all when you go to the beaches, because most of Aklan is coastal. There's a river, Aklan River, and then most are coastal, so you got all these beaches that nobody ever really goes to, so you can always find a beach where you could spend a whole day and not see anyone on the beach, which is kind of nice. But if you like the crowd, again, if you like all the water sports, all the water activities like parasailing, paddle boarding, snorkeling, all that's it all in Boracay Island. It's very affordable to take those island hopping tours and things like that. So there are those places for you to go. So that's why I think Aklan province is so attractive. But the one thing that you're gonna really like about Aklan province, I think, is just the friendliness of the people here. A viewer, actually, a friend of ours, Lottie, she had mentioned how Dazzle just started driving. She had mentioned, do they have a AAA here in Aklan? And I told her there isn't a AAA. I haven't even seen a towing company here in or a tow truck. I've never seen a tow truck here in Aklan province, because here in our province, if my car breaks down on the road, on the highway, people will help you here. People will stop, or you can just flag anybody, person, tricycle driver, you name it, they will help you. They will help change your tire. It's just the way people are here. It's like, that's one thing I really like about our province. It's like really good people. If you're looking for a retirement destination here in the Philippines, consider Aklan province. Google it, research it, ask me a question, send me an email if you're really interested, and I'll help you out. I'll help you find a place to live here in Aklan province. I'll guide you in the process. Just let me know. Be happy to help you. I know if you decide to move here to Aklan province, you won't be disappointed. You'll be happy that you made that choice.
thank you for watching.
We'll see you in our next video.